uh, I don't have enough money or time. I'll just wait until my next paycheck. I need to do more research. I want to be fully prepared. I'm tired. I'm just gonna take a nap. I'll just go to the gym later tonight. There won't be many people there by that time.
Welcome to my universe. Today we will discuss the brain's mechanisms that contribute to procrastination and identify strategies to overcome it.
Many procrastinators experience this thought process daily. It's not due to a lack of will or discipline, those are merely surface level factors. Before you realize it, hours slip away, days turn into nights, and suddenly a new month begins, leaving you with a whole year that has passed without you accomplishing what you plan to do later. Before I started my YouTube channel, there were a lot of things I needed to face and overcome. Acknowledging these roadblockers is how I was able to finally mentally make space and embrace the season of creating content. I started with my why. Why am I not able to fulfill? I have all of these brilliant ideas, however, nothing is being accomplished. I realized I'm afraid. I'm stuck. I'm imprisoned by fear, which led me to continuously procrastinate. I went down a rabbit hole. I started to explore how my brain works, and I realized procrastination might be more complex than you may realize. And today I want to share that insight with you. The brain is operating exactly the way it's designed to. Procrastination isn't simply a productivity issue. It's deeply rooted in emotions, habits, and cognitive processes. Personally, I procrastinate to escape feelings of fear or anxiety or self doubt that's associated with the task, a decision, or a goal. What I learned is that dopamine and instant gratification is the brain's reward system that encourages procrastination. Staying in a comfortable situation feels safer than venturing into the unknown. Avoiding tough challenges isn't laziness, it's just how our brains are designed to work efficiently. During my research, I found the limbic system is the brain's emotional center, which process feelings of pleasure, pain, and rewards. Whenever we encounter a tough task, our limbic system tries to avoid discomfort. For instance, when faced with a responsibility or a project, we often think, what is the quickest and easiest way to achieve this with the least amount of resources, time, and energy? Our brain is actively working to avoid effort. The limbic system has recognized that effort leads to emotions and feelings of discomfort, which leads us to procrastination. There are so many videos based on motivational speeches. How to make your ambitions turn into fruition, how to gain access to success.
Don't go to sleep until you succeed. Don't quit. Fight for it. Unless you're dead, you're not defeated.
Those are all great affirmative words. And yes, they have been proven to be motivational. However, to achieve all the beautiful things that we want in life, I feel like overcoming procrastination is the number one priority. The limbic system focuses on emotions. So we need to convince our brains that discomfort can be comforting. When facing tough tasks, we should change our viewpoint from seeing them as difficult to opportunities for growth and rewards. Motivation does not lead to action. However, effort does lead to results, which does make you want to feel motivated to do those hard tasks.
There is nothing like a good sip of water.
That is why the instant gratification felt from the dopamine happens after the achievement, not before. For me, opening the laptop to edit seems harder than actually doing the work. And after or even during, it becomes fun and enjoyable. Creating a raw footage and then transforming it into something magical is my instant gratification. Well, only it wasn't instant. It took a good 2 hours, but you get what I'm saying. Waiting to feel ready will not only leave you stuck, but it can lead to missed opportunities to serve others and glorify God with that gift He's instilled in you. Often, before we begin to achieve tasks, we overthink and exaggerate difficulty. It feels heavier in our head than it is in reality. Procrastination is just a reaction to that heaviness of anticipation, not laziness. There are different strategies that we can use to overcome procrastination. For instance, instead of trying to tackle the entire task, start small. Let's say I'm creating my to do list for the day. I'll try and avoid thoughts that can feel overwhelming and create heaviness of anticipation. I need to edit this video and make sure it's completed by the end of the night. Instead, I'll say, you know what, I'm going to edit a few clips from this video. Altering my thought process makes the task feel more manageable and my mind feels relaxed, knowing it doesn't have to exert a lot of effort. Now that I've started editing, I realize it's been like an hour and 30 minutes, 2 hours, and the entire video has been completed. I did the whole video. It didn't stem from motivation or the will, but simply starting. Over time, your brain will adjust if you consistently put in effort. The limbic system will start to view those challenges not as threats, but as a signal for change. Now the brain is seeking those challenges and efforts, while the limbic system is following your emotional patterns. If you tell yourself, I'm bad at this, I'm never going to be able to stick to this routine, the brain will automatically avoid any situations that could possibly reinforce those negative beliefs. If you shift your thought process and perspective to, I'm going to do it even though it's hard, I don't know what I'm doing, it's a learning curve. However, I know that it will pay off in the future. Your brain will now start to seek opportunities that can support that belief. You have to speak life. Each milestone counts. It signals to the brain, this is who I am now, building confidence through those challenging tasks. In essence, procrastination does not indicate weakness or laziness. Our brain is instinctively programmed to avoid discomfort. So, whenever we give ourselves that harsh criticism from setbacks, it creates this protective barrier, preventing us from engaging in tasks that can feel challenging. If we cultivate a mindset where we can break down the larger tasks into smaller ones and make it more manageable, we can then give ourselves that patience and kindness, and then in turn shift the thought process so that way we can break down the protective barriers. As we do this, the limbic system recognizes this is emotionally safe for us. It is okay to put in effort. True growth emerges not from pushing or forcing ourselves, but from retraining our brain to receiving discomfort in a new light. The more we train our minds to understand effort leads to progress, the more it will seek out and embrace those larger tasks rather than remaining in the confines of comfort. Thank you all for watching. That is it for today's video. I am happy that I was able to share with you what I've learned. If you've also done some research about the limbic system and how it impacts behaviors, I invite you to share your insights down below in the comments. I am eager to hear from your perspective. Until next time, bye.